So I thought to myself, why not dress up a little bit for this video, just because I don't usually get to wear things like this very often, and I thought, why not wear it for this video where I'm trying to talk to my 16-year-old self, and I think she would think to herself, how beautiful. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hi, welcome if you're new here. My name is Erica and this is my channel, Erica's Everything. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I recently just turned 26. Woo! So if you guys didn't know, my birthday is August 5th. So I think every year around my birthday, that's kind of where I've started thinking about things that I've learned over the past years and just thinking about life in general and thinking about like where I am in my life and thinking about where I want to go. I was thinking to myself, if I could meet my 16-year-old self, what would I let her know? Like, what would I tell her that I wish I knew then? If you guys are new here, I'm Erica and I have this channel where I like to post things about lifestyle, beauty, fashion, fitness, or just anything self-development related. So if any of that interests you, feel free to check out some of my other videos and I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. So definitely one thing that I wish I could tell my 16-year-old self would definitely be that you are always a student. I really thought that after high school and college, I was going to be done learning. And I was like, oh, I would never have to pick up a book again. I would never have to take courses. I would never have to learn anything new ever again after college. Oh my gosh, was I wrong in thinking that way. What's so funny is that now, instead of going to a classroom like you do in high school or in college, now I actively have to seek out that knowledge for myself on my own time. Whether it's like practical life skills such as like learning to cook, clean, how to file your taxes. So now that I'm no longer in a classroom setting, I now actively seek out knowledge on my own. And now I actually have to seek out studying on my own because I still have so much to learn. So YouTube and Google have become my teachers now. And there's something new that I learn every day because I'm still growing. And I don't know why I thought that just because you were the title of a student in high school and college doesn't mean that it doesn't follow you throughout the rest of your life. You will always be actively pursuing something. And I hope that's true because I feel like once you stop learning and growing, that's definitely where you stop striving to be better. And I feel like you always need to be striving to be better. And that's why I think you will always be a student. And that's why I think you will always have room for improvement and always opportunities to grow and things to learn from. I think another lesson that I would definitely want my 16-year-old self to know is that hurt people hurt people. I just think that's definitely so true. I know you have been hurt by others in the past, and I know that because of that hurt, you probably have also hurt people in your past too. And I just want you to know that you are going to encounter so many hurt people that are going to judge you and bully you and who don't understand you and just be mean to you for what feels like no apparent reason. And I just want to let you know that there is a reason. It's because they are hurting. They are projecting their own insecurities and they are seeing you through their own perspective and they are judging you based off of that. It has nothing to do with you. They are hurt and that's why they project that hurt onto you. So all the times in the past, whenever I was hurt by someone, I always thought to myself, why me? Why is it me? What is wrong with me? What is it that I did to make them upset? What is it about me that they don't like about me? But here's the reality of it. It has nothing to do with you. It is all about them. They're projecting their hurt onto you. Same thing with me. Sometimes I will catch myself feeling feelings of jealousy or envy or anger towards other people. And I know that I have to take a step back and remind myself that it's not about them. It's something within me that is making myself feel this way. And same thing, there's been a lot of hurtful things said about me. And I used to take it to heart. But that was before realizing that they say those things because of them. They aren't happy with themselves. They aren't doing their best. They aren't doing what they want to do. They are going through something and that's why they said that. So all of this to say is that make peace with your past so it doesn't mess up your present or interfere with your future. Stop living through someone else's life and start living your own. We consume so much. We are consuming so much of other people's lives and we are neglecting our own. I know that it is so much easier to be a consumer, but with that trade-off, we end up feeling bad about ourselves and we end up doing nothing about it. Social media has allowed us to feel so connected to everything else around us in the world. But now that we feel so connected, why is it that we feel so alone? Social media allows us to see everything that we want to see from the comfort of our own bed. But because of that, while we're laying in bed, just rotting away and just consuming other people's lives, that's where I feel like the trade-off comes in, where you are consuming so much of other people's lives, so many aspects of other people's lives. You feel like you are going everywhere right at your fingertips. But here's the thing, is that you are not actually doing all those things that you're seeing. That's where the sadness comes in. That's where the depression comes in. That's where the jealousy comes in, where you feel like you are doing nothing because you are just there consuming and watching other people live their lives. So it's time to get up and go create something and do the things you see everyone else doing. Whether that's content creation or painting or traveling, hanging out with friends, or just doing anything, going to a coffee shop alone. That definitely create more than you consume. Stop being a consumer. It's okay to consume a little bit, but always make sure that it comes from a place of seeking inspiration or seeking connection. Not just doing it just to fill time, not just doing it to avoid other things. Live your life. Another thing that I would want to tell my 16-year-old self is definitely you get what you give. I know at 16, you're probably wanting to feel loved, or you're probably wanting to feel some sort of connection. But have you been giving that? Like, have you been giving love to other people that are caring about you? Have you been giving your attention to people who are around you and who lift you up? Have you been giving love to other people who have been needing that love? Have you been giving love to yourself? I just think that whatever it is that you're lacking, seek to give that out first, and then it'll return to you tenfold. That's just how life works, where in order to receive, you need to give first. And people will reciprocate. The universe will respond. The world around you will respond to that love. Especially when the world is like a mirror, whatever you are doing is reflected back on you. You need to send out those vibrations. Whatever it is that you feel like you are lacking, that is what you need to give. And then that is what you will begin to receive back. How can you expect to receive love when you are not giving it? If you really want to feel loved, then you need to seek it out there and you need to put it out there. Put love into what you are doing. You need to love yourself first. Make sure you are taking care of yourself and that you are watering yourself. And you're watering others that you have around you. And there's something weird about when you tend to others, is that you are also tending to yourself. If everything is a reflection of ourselves, then when we care for others, we're also caring for ourselves. Back when I was younger, guess what? You would have been met with a version of me that would be like this. That is the version that you would be met with. You would be met with someone on her phone, not listening, not giving you eye contact. I neglected all the love that I was being given by my family and my friends. How could I be sitting there thinking to myself of how lonely I've been feeling and how distant I've been feeling when that was exactly how I was acting? Like, no wonder you were feeling cold and distant from the world. That's because that's how you act. The energy that you are giving those around you is exactly the energy that the others around you are going to give to you. And that's just the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If you are treating others around you with this distance, with this coldness, with this neglect, then clearly, obviously, you will be getting that back. So I think if you want to be seen, heard, respected, and loved, then guess what? You first have to give that energy to others. So another thing that I would have told my 16-year-old self is to find the right friends. And I'm talking about the friends that you need, not just the friends that you want. Back when I was 16, I'm going to tell you, I really wanted to be that popular girl who had billions of friends. And there was a huge phase in my life where I was prioritizing making new friends and meeting new people. I would rather have one yes friend that I know I can count on, who is dependable, who loves me, who wants to see me thrive, than to have 10 friends who I don't even know if they like me. When it comes to friends, it needs to be a quality thing. My core friends were always there through it all. It's the ones that are with you through the whole journey than the ones that you just have for a little bit here and there and they were just there for a fun time. No, the friends that you really want are the ones that are going to stick it through the ups and the downs. And here's another thing too, is that you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around with the most. So choose carefully. To me, I feel like those top 5 people that I'm spending the most time with need to be people that are growing and inspiring and positively impacting my life. And these people should be giving you good advice because they want to see you win. And just be careful because misery loves company. You never know if someone is trying to drag you down to keep you where they're at. So please just remember to surround yourself with people that make you feel good and that make you feel happy and loved. Another thing that I would want to tell my 16-year-old self is be the person you want to be now. Because girl, life is too short to try to be waiting for the right moment. So might as well just do it right now. Or, oh, I'm just waiting for this. I'm just waiting for the right time. I'm just waiting until I get this. I'm just waiting until I get that. No, do it now with what you have now. It's enough. Do it now and do it badly. And I think it's so interesting that when you start acting and pretending to be that version of yourself, at some point, it stops becoming pretend and it starts becoming who you actually are. That version of you that you are pretending to be will eventually become your reality. I want you to give yourself permission to be bad at things and to be a beginner and to start out small, start out with 0. And I want you to give yourself the permission to be cringe. And I think it's so funny because when I was 16, I wanted to be good at whatever I was doing. And if I wasn't good at it, I was like, oh, not for me. I don't even want to try and attempt it anymore. I don't even want to do it anymore because I'm not good at it from the start. Girl, how delusional is that? Of course you're not going to get good at it if you're not practicing. Of course you have to start from 0. It's funny, I even thought about that the same way I did with me starting to make videos online. Is I was like, oh, I want to wait until I have the best lighting. I want to wait until I have the best equipment. I want to wait until I have a big following already. But it's like, oh, how are you going to get all that if you don't start somewhere with an iPhone or if you don't start somewhere with 0? And you can always get good at something, no matter how old you are. Another thing that I would want to tell my 16-year-old self is don't lose your hobbies. When you get older, you have less opportunity and time and energy to devote to all your hobbies. And I feel like in today's society, it could be hard getting into hobbies because I know there's such a huge emphasis on having all these like side hustles. And I know that you might feel guilty wanting to spend time and money and energy on things that you just love and enjoy that aren't a part of a side hustle or aren't a part of being productive, but just enjoy solely for the purpose of like doing it. It's usually the arts, which is so sad to think about. And I think this hugely contributes to us having a sense of loss of identity from our childhood as we grow up into an adult, is that we don't dive back into our hobbies and we don't carry those hobbies into our adulthood. Where I know that so many parents have put their kids in like karate or sports or art or dance or acting classes. And those were just for fun. That was just to spark creativity in their children. But as children, we forget to bring those into our adult life. So I feel like if you're trying to spark some creativity back into your life, or if you're feeling a little lost, or if you're just feeling really stuck in whatever kind of cycle you're in, try to make time for some of those hobbies and revisit them. This can be hobbies such as like painting, photography, video creation, scrapbooking, coloring, origami, dancing, singing, acting. And I just feel like a huge reason why so many people feel so unhappy with themselves and their lives is because they don't feel joy in what they do. You feel stuck. You're in a routine of just eating, sleeping, going to work. Waking up, eating, sleeping, going to work. And that is so soul crushing. There is no room in that kind of day to fit in the things that make you feel alive. So on that note, I think what I would also tell my 16-year-old self is that you are not your job. Your worth is not tied in to your job. A job is just that, a job. And it can change. It is not everything about you. So don't forget to make time and room for things you enjoy outside of work. Especially for all of my young girlies out there who feel like they need to achieve this huge success by any sort of like particular given age. I'm definitely not doing the job that I dreamed of when I was younger. Just because that's what you do to get paid and to have a living doesn't mean that that's who you are. And I just want to let you know that maybe you're not at your dream job. That doesn't mean you're a failure. And just because you don't make a lot of money, that doesn't mean that you're any less successful. I would never want you to feel like you are living to work. I want you to feel like you are working so that way you can live your life. And if you find something that just so happens to bring the two together, or if you just so happen to really love what you do for work, then that's amazing. And that's what I would want for you. And that's what I would want for me too. Another one being that if you aren't changing it, you're choosing it, girl. I think most of us are very familiar with the law of attraction, where It's basically just energy flows where attention goes. If insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting to get different results, then that's what we're doing by complaining. We are complaining about the same things, but we are doing those said exact same things. If we see something that we're unhappy about and we have the power to change it, then let's take control of it and change it. Let's make ourselves happy, because no one is in charge of making you happy besides yourself. And I know we can't change everything right away. There's no magic wand or anything like that, but we can start with one thing at a time. And I think just 1% improvement that we can do today will definitely help us towards improving ourselves for tomorrow and even further into the future. Okay, so here's the last thing that I want to leave you guys with. Bring something to the table. I just definitely feel like you shouldn't show up anywhere empty-handed. And this doesn't mean just like gifts or money or like anything tangible. This can also come in forms of like a compliment. This could come in the form of your time and your company. This could be a shoulder to lean on, or lending your ears and giving advice. Whether that's just a good positive attitude or the willingness to help out. That's awesome. Bring something to the table of everyday life. So I started to give and receive books as gifts, and I think that is just amazing. And when reading all these different perspectives and thoughts from other people, that can also help to influence or change your own. And the best thing about gaining this wisdom and knowledge from other people is that you keep it with you forever. Once that is yours, once you have learned that, once you have mastered that, once you have changed your perspective, and once you have opened your eyes, you get to keep that with you. And if you definitely want to see some of my favorite books, feel free to check out the video that I'll have up here, or it'll be in the comments or the description, where I shared with you guys some of my favorite books that definitely changed my life. And I definitely think that there's knowledge in these books for you guys as well. And that definitely ties into the first one that I was telling you about, where we are always learning and we are always growing, and there's always room for improvement, and we will always be a student. So yeah, so those are my things that I wish I learned when I was younger, or when I was 16, or at least I wish I knew a lot more. Now I have a much better understanding, and now that I've grown a little bit more, I definitely have changed my perspective on a lot of things. And I know that I'm still so young, so I know that these are definitely bound to change. Those are just my perspectives, and those are just things that I wish I learned. Please let me know in the comments what lessons and advice you guys would give to your younger selves as well. I would really love to hear that. With that being said, that's the end of this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.